Hello everyone, welcome back to the Hungaroring. Well, if you were with us a little earlier, you saw the first of 4 truck races this weekend in the European Truck Racing Championship, round 5 of this popular series. We had a terrific race actually, and the crowd just going wild for the local hero, Norby Kish. Eventually he finished second, brave move to overtake Ryan Smith on the very last lap, and he snatched second place. Jochen Hahn though won the race, and he moves into the lead of the championship as his arch rival in the series, Adam Lachko, in the Bagheera. He had something of a lackluster race really, and finished down in 5th place. Well, we were very impressed when Jochen Hahn climbed out of the car and told Dakota that he knew that he was at 9 points in the lead of the championship. Actually, he got his sums wrong. He is 11 points in the lead of the championship. Now, one thing I didn't mention in the coverage of that earlier race was that the second of the Tank Bull 24 trucks of Andre Kursim, he actually got into the points, picked up a couple of points, and he's been truck racing now for a year and a half. Those are the first points he's ever had, so he'll be feeling good about that. So absolutely blinding hot day here. Just look at the heat haze coming off the track surface. Of course, the new track surface, this Hungaroring resurfaced over the winter, new curbing, and trucks are going to be joining the grid soon. But let's have a look at some of that action from that first race. Well, as ever in truck racing, a rolling start there. On the inside, Jochen Hahn, and alongside him, Ryan Smith, the man from Mansfield, Nottingham. Really making a mark in truck racing this year on the European scene. He leads the British Championship. Early on in the going, there was this incident here where we had the lady racer go hurtling into the boondocks, taking a couple of people with her, but fortunately she got back on, and one of a couple of lady racers, Stefan Hahn, who's been having a very good season actually, but made a mistake there. Then we had quite a big battle, and this is Norby Kish in the silver and red, really pressing Ryan Smith. Meanwhile, a good battle a bit further down the field, the old stage of good. Korba having a good run in the Iveco number 12, but it was this man, Jochen Hahn, who took the victory to put himself, as I said, 11 points into the lead of the championship. A bit of showboating at the end. And of course, that great move by Norby Kish, cheered on by the huge crowd here to snatch second place. And in fact, he'd moved up from an early 4th, so he was definitely the hero. I just went past his garage about 15 minutes ago, and you couldn't get anywhere close. He was just about to climb into the truck for the second race, absolutely besieged by the Hungarian fans. That I said in the first broadcast, Hungarian motorsport hasn't got too many heroes at the moment, but Norby Kish, the 2015-2014 truck racing champion, but has switched teams this year, and is helping Mercedes-Benz really get back into truck racing in a big way. There's Stephanie Hahn, who caused that aggravation. She did have a good run up the field after basically just losing it under power. Now this is the reverse grid race. So reverse grid race for just the first 8, and I should say there's a lower tariff championship point standings that is for this race. So Hahn got 20 points for the win a bit earlier in the afternoon, only 10 for a win in this race. It actually goes 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So the second half of the point scoring bracket, it's the same points as the main more earlier race. But for this one, only 10 for a win. So in a way, not quite so important. There's the truck which starts on pole position by dint of finishing 8th. Old-time truck racer Frankie Wojciech. Some of you will know that I was very much involved in the beginning of truck racing in the UK, the first 5 or 6 years of it. And Frankie was racing with us way back then in the early 90s, then a factory driver for the Liaz team, as being a Czech truck manufacturer who were very much involved in the sport at the time. And great to see Frankie still enjoying his racing, as indeed on the grid we'll see in a moment Gerd Kerber, who will start third, another of the sort of original gang really, who won a couple of championships way back when, and did a great job for the Bagheera team. But there is the Czech driver, František, or Frankie as we always call him, Wojciech, and be interested to see how long he can hold on in the lead. Can't expect him to hang on to the end, I don't think. That would be too much of an ask. Now, one of the surprises of the earlier race, Adam, it's written Lacko, but I'm told it's pronounced Lachko in the Czech. He has been battling for the lead of this championship all through the earlier 4 rounds with Jochen Hahn, and he just really wasn't at the party in the earlier race. Lachko, I don't know if the Bagheera team having a bit of a problem. You know, they've developed their own engine, the Geartech engine, and maybe that just wasn't producing the power, I'm not sure. Team Orsini Racing, sounds Italian, but it's actually French. Dominique Orsini, there's a French championship. Oh, great crash helmet, look at that. Look at those gnashers. Dominique Orsini will start down in 12th place. He had 3 that didn't finish in the first race. Ella Lure, she had a problem with a puncture. Jerry Foreman in the second of the Bagheeras. I saw them working on that truck, not quite sure of the problem. And Sasha Lenz, and Sasha, second generation racer, he had problems with his steering, I'm told. The team are trying to fix it, so it'll be interesting to see if he's there. Another bit of big news this weekend. The man who went into this weekend in 3rd place in the championship, Rennie Reinhardt, has not made it this weekend. The team is here, the truck is here. Some last minute problem at home. I don't know the nature of that, but he opted not to come at the very last minute to Hungary. I'm sure there must have been a very good reason for that, and he'll be very disappointed. But he'll be dropping down the championship, which now, of course, is led by Jochen Hahn. He will start 8th. Well, there is Ryan Smith's car, the truck, the 88, and that run, of course, by the Oxo team. Oxo being the sponsor of the organisation, which was originally known as the Flex Truck Racing Team, I believe, started by Balázs Sloboy in Hungary. So another Hungarian effort to cheer. Here's the man who scored his first points in truck racing in the previous race. Kursim, come out of mini racing in the VLN series at the Nürburgring. What a big change for him to do that. So from racing a mini around the Nürburgring to a truck around the Hungaroring is a quantum leap, I would suggest. Here's the other British driver, had a lot of problems in practicing. Shane Brereton got himself up to 8th place, having started at the back, but then slipped back to 10th. So Shane with a lot of success on the short ovals behind him, and also in the Ascar series a few years ago at Rockingham. There, the cross of St George on the side of his truck. The team had to work really hard, and backing from Kelsa Truck Products and Tor Trucks. Here's the man they all want to cheer for. This is Norby, and I think you'll hear the cheer go up, yes, in the Tank Pool 24 racing team run by Martin Bauer Motorsport. Tank Pool 24 being a series of, obviously, all night, 24 hours around the clock truck stops in Germany. And Kiss gets the big cheer. Kish, as he pronounces it. Obviously, these pronunciations are always a little tricky. I'm talking to Lachko. He said, a lot of people call me Lacko. It's the English pronunciation. I really don't mind, but my family name is Lachko. So we'll keep calling him that, and we'll keep calling him Kish, or the other way around, whichever you prefer. Final instructions then, as I indicated earlier on, Stefan Hodens, the engineer that did a lot of success for the Hahn team, moved to the Tank Pool 24 team, and that's one of the reasons that Norby decided to join them, because he just always wanted to work with Stefan, and is certainly making progress with the Mercedes. There's the Bagheera, as I mentioned in the first truck broadcast. The engine basically is right over the top of the truck. So Adam sitting just to the left of it, a man with a lot of racing experience in all kinds of vehicles, has raced in the World Touring Car Championship and quite a bit of one-make racing. There's a Czech driver, and puts his special cap on. It seems a bit of late in the day to do that, but maybe they need a specific photograph or something. So they're lining up. I believe we're going to have 15 starters, assuming that Sasha Lenz, number 30 truck has been repaired. I don't see it. Oh yeah, there it is. Look, Lenz on the right, the orangey red truck. It is there, so that's good news. They got that sorted out. Also should mention Ellen Lohr, huge history in German motorsport. There's the 44 truck of Stephanie Harm, the other lady driver. Been well up in the points, and the first woman to win a European truck racing event. I'm trying to remember way back if Davina Galika ever won one in the Rod Chapman Cargo racing way back in the 80s. Cheer for Franti Wojciech. I think probably quite a few Czechs come across the border this weekend for this, what is actually a Hungarian truck fest. Here is Gerd Kurber, former ace in the Bagheera. Gerb, don't check out his age, he's probably about 50, Gerb. And the team Schwaben, Iveco, champion in 02 and 03, but he'd been racing 10 years before he got to that exalted heights. There's Adam Lachko in the Bagheera International Racing. This truck based on an American chassis. Here's the Lion Racing machine of Anthony Janiek, former French Formula 3 racer. Janiek had a very good start in the first race and held third for a while. You see the back of the engine, a great big turbo cooler. Very hot day today for truck racing, and need to get air into those intercoolers to keep the power up around the 1,000-pound mark. Here's Ryan Smith. Ryan's best result this season was at the Red Bull Ring. He did have a second, and I thought maybe his result a little earlier on was his best with the third. He had just second snatched out of his hands with a lap to go, but actually he did have a second earlier in the season. Norby Kish then, and there at the back, that facsimile greasy plate, as we call them. That's where the trailers hook on, but I think that one is not real. There's Norby. A little chat with the team. And Jochen Hahn will start in 8th place by dint of the win. Obviously, they've got to battle their way through the slower trucks, and the further up you get, the more difficult it gets. And quite a lot will be depending on the start. Rolling starts always in truck racing. I don't think we've ever had a standing start race. Stephanie Harmed, young girl that raced in, lady I should say, raced in minis a lot in Germany, very successful. I don't think she ever won the championship. She's had a number of wins and places in that very competitive German championship, but racing a truck a million miles away from racing a mini. Just to remind everybody, best part of 1,000 horsepower and loads of torque, no traction control, no ABS. A lot of driving talent needed in races like this. We just go down the grid here between these heavyweight heroes, the diesel dicers, and they'll be underway in just a couple of minutes now for the second of the 4 races this weekend. They reset everything tomorrow morning, where they have another qualifying session, so they basically start again. So if you had a problem but you work hard overnight, get the problem cracked, could have a very different result in qualifying. This race result does not impact on the starting positions in the third of the 4 races. So maximum, of course, of 60 points for the whole weekend if you can get 4 wins. Jochen Hahn has done that in the past, and there you just see on the bridge they're already promoting next year's Hungary Truck Fest, as they call it. And you see in the background there plenty of trucks, including an extraordinary tanker. You might just see the white barrel-shaped device that's gone off our screen now, but that is one of the most extraordinary tankers I've ever seen, so long, and that's on display along with a lot of other trucks. You can see packed grandstands for this, so the promoters done a good job here to get people in, and they will follow around at this stately pace behind the pace truck, and then that will pull off into the pit lane, and then well, the heavyweight heroes will still be at it, and of course likes of Hahn, Kish, and indeed Ryan Smith will be trying to get their way through to the front as quickly as they can, and those first 3 or 4 laps should be pretty exciting. 11 laps for this race, as was the first one, and you can see how much higher that Mercedes-Benz sits. Of course, he's got an air dam or aerodynamic device on the top of the truck. Now, who will get into the first corner first as well? Will it be the lady racer, Stephanie Harm? What's her chances? She's a mean competitor, and she has got to see what she can do about the old silver fox himself, Gerd Gerber from Germany, long-time truck racing driver, now in the Iveco, which he's been developing himself for the past 3 years or so. To see the different design there, all the cab overs, and then a couple of bonneted trucks at the front. Bonneted trucks used to be the thing to have in truck racing some years ago, particularly with the white and Sisu, but it's just the Bagheera who run in that format these days. So, all getting up to speed here. Anticipation in the crowd. And of course, there's only one man they're really cheering for, Norbert Kish, but let's not remember that Ryan Smith is in a truck run by a Hungarian team. Of course, these trucks don't rev very high. There's a little bit of smoke coming out. I think somebody just going a little bit wide. There are some penalty posts around the track in case people go wide. In fact, stop them going wide. Didn't have any problems with that in race number 1. So, on the inside, in the white truck, Gerd Gerber, the old stager in the Italian Iveco, only Iveco in the truck racing. Alongside him, in the bright blue 44, is Stephanie Halm, H-A-L-M, Halm. She will certainly be trying to keep that first corner. It's because it's a diving downhill right-hander, caught out many people. The pace truck is in the pit lane. They are still under starters' orders, Gerber just has got a little bit of space in front of Stephanie, and the flag should wave now, and it'll be pedal to the metal as they dive down into that first corner. And just trying to see if any of the quick boys trying to get an early advantage. There's Ryan Smith with the white truck with the blue stripes on it, and Gerber's holding the inside line here. Here they come, straight at our camera. Air horns go off, and it is Gerber indeed who's got the lead. And there's a little bit of bumping and boring there, and we've got a spinner, and he's facing the wrong way, and the orange truck facing backwards. So it's definitely been in the wars. And look at Norby and Ryan are absolutely side to side, door handle to door handle there, as the French driver Janiak goes wide and he sends one of those poles flying. I don't think you get a penalty for that on this first lap, but it's Wojciech in the lead now from Hahn. Gerber is third, and look at the damage there. Damage which I think will bring Sasha Lenz into the pits. So Sasha Lenz, I don't think will take much part in this. So it's Wojciech is in the lead. Another old stager, Stephanie Hahn, actually sandwiched by two of the veteran truck racers. Gerber is third, as I said. Lachko is fourth, Janiak is fifth, Ryan Smith is sixth, Kish is seventh, and Hahn had not made up any places as yet. So Wojciech it was who worked his way into the lead there at the start. Wojciech in the 12. Former Liaz factory driver. And Janiak trying down the inside. Look, is that going to work? Oh no, just gets a little bit of a nudge on the body. And Ryan Smith also trying to find a way past his nearest compatriot. And Janiak going out a bit wide there, and he got a bit of a nudge as well. And Sasha Lenz it was who came off worst in that open contra time, and the four have broken away a little bit. And there's Janiak, I suspect might be holding up some of the faster men behind him, and somebody else goes very wide indeed. And look at Kish there. Kish has got past Smith, look. So Kish is definitely on the charge, trying to go down the inside of Janiak. Janiak defending very well. And meanwhile, Stephanie Hahn is trying to get down the inside to take the lead off Wojciech. But the Czech hangs on. Oh, a great puff of smoke. What was that from? Oh, somebody's off there, I think, just out of our picture. And another spitter. The smoke has not settled yet. See who that was. This is all very hectic indeed in these early laps, as is suspected it might be. And Wojciech, the Czech racing team, MAN, hanging on really well at the moment. Trying to get past Lachko, or Lachko, if you will, up into third place. Wojciech just hangs on. I don't know how long he can keep this up. Watch out for Lachko now. He's dropped some points in the championship, dropped to 11 points behind Hahn, and he's not going to like that. And I think they've tweaked the truck a bit because it seems to be going really well. Fish going through. Look at those great monsters racing around the Nürburgring, Hungaroring here, Nürburgring it was last time out. There's the Bagheera. Two Bagheeras in this race. Wojciech hangs on just, trying to use some of the skills he learned 20 years ago. Stephanie Hahn still hanging on to second, looking as she can try and find a way past. It's always difficult. And look at Janiak there, goes diving down the inside of Gerber, who gets pushed wide, and Gerber goes off. And meanwhile, the number one, Kish was trying to go around a pair of them. That's what he was trying to do. Kish trying to go around a pair of them. There just wasn't enough room. There's not room for three trucks here. And again, Kish really pushing hard. He's trying to go around the outside of Gerber. Switches back to the inside. And can he get him down into braking now here? Gerber knows a lot of old tricks of truck racing. He's defending. Janiak has gone behind him. Stephanie Hahn is into the lead from Wojciech. It's all happening here. There, the blue truck in the lead then. Stephanie Hahn, first woman to win a major truck race. Wojciech is second, but Lachko challenging hard. And Lachko looking for a podium finish here after a disappointment in race one. Shane Brereton is into 10th place. Ryan Smith must have had a spin because Ryan has dropped to 12th. He saw that great pile and plume of smoke. That must have been Ryan. So he's dropped down to 12th place, and he's got some work to do now then if he's going to get back into the points. Meanwhile, Stephanie Hahn, she has proved to be a winner in truck racing. She's had a very good run last time out at Nürburgring. And look at the Bagheera looking for the outside, trying to go around Wojciech. Can't make that stick. Tries again. I think he's got more speed. Can he find a way around? He's got to position himself correctly. There, Stephanie Harm. Well, if team boss Reinhardt is not racing this weekend for personal reasons and watching back at home, he'll be pleased how Stephanie's going in the sister truck. Those first three are broken away a little bit. Yeah, I must try and find out what happened to Ryan Smith. I think he must have been the man that was in that pile of smoke there. Bit of damage to the 55 of Latchgo. We're used to that. Bits of bodywork flying off, or was that one? I think that was one of those posts that went flying we saw to the left of our screen. A warning flag given to truck number 8, and incident between 10 and 30 investigated, and that is Ellen Law and Sasha Lenz, and that's the one that sent Lenz flying off, two Germans together. And the crowd are urging on. Oh, but Kish, at the moment, he's still in 5th place. And Stephanie, well, there cheers for the Bagheera as well, but I think they're mainly for Kish. And look at Stephanie Harm has really checked out. 3.3 seconds she is in the lead. Wojciech, using all the old skills, hangs on in 2nd place. I don't know how long he can do that for. Ryan Smith down in 12th place. Ellen Lure 13th, Orsini 14th, and I think that Lenz probably stopped out on the track now. Oh. The juggernauts are really at it at the moment. Jousting juggernauts out here on the Hungaroring for the 2nd of the 4 races this weekend. We'll actually be halfway through the series when we get to the end of this particular race. So 9-race series. Well, it's actually a 36-race series 9. Venues. Stephanie Harm, well, pulling away 3 seconds in those first 3 laps. Going to put her in a very good position. And there she goes, neatly through the chicane. Here's the pursuing pack. Now they're all absolutely nose to tail. Goodyear, basically road tyres, but especially prepared for racing. And look at that. Huge group there, 5-6 of them. Janiak at the back now in 7th place, and they're all in pursuit of the blue truck of the lady racer. So difficult to pass here. There's Kish trying to get past Kurba. And in the middle of the shot, the iconic sign for the Hungaroring as they come past the pits again. This group, and look at Norby. He's got down the inside of Latchgo, and I think he's moved up a place. You've just got to be absolutely spot on the braking now. It's the heavyweight heroes dive into this corner, downhill, turning right. There goes our leader. Wojciech hanging on, and it's Kurba, but Kish moves up to 4th. Lacko 5th. Jochen Hahn having a relatively quiet race in 6th place at the moment. He stays like that, he'll drop a couple of points to Jochen Latchgo, but he'll still lead the championship. But he's a crafty old devil, is Hahn. Let's see what happens in the next 2 or 3 laps. Warning flag to 88 for hitting a marker at turn 12. 88 being the Jiri Foreman in the 2nd of the 2 Bagheeras, and Jiri running in 9th place, just inside the points at the moment. Kurba hanging on with the Iveco. remembering some of those great races he had years ago. The right front valance is be hanging off the 44 a little bit. That won't trouble her at all. Let's see, 55 for Lachko Bagheera. Now drop behind Kish. I'm sure that Kish must have a chance of getting at Korba now. Korba, remember, in the 27, the red and white Iveco. It's all very close. Let's see what he can do now. Meanwhile, Wojciech, I mean, this is shades of 25 years ago. Wojciech and Korba battling for podium positions in truck racing. Fantastic. And just trying to make a move there was Korba. Double champion in truck racing in the past. Meanwhile, the Bagheera hasn't given up. Look at Lachko trying to get around the outside. And Hahn basically behind Lachko. And fans whooping with gusto here. And the lead is stretched to 5.9 seconds while they're all holding each up. Stephanie Hahn is literally checking out, and Korba is completely sideways on there on full opposite lock. And yeah, Korba drops back. And look at the Bagheera's right in there, and oh goodness me, the Bagheera and Kish side by side. And Korba has been relegated, and Hahn's right with him. Said he's a wily old driver. Hahn has been around this sport for a long time. As Korba goes out very wide, but Wojciech, who took the lead at the start, is still hanging there in second place. And Janiek in the yellow truck, he hasn't given up either. What a battle. 6 or 7 trucks, all this great heavyweight Hulk here. And, again, truck racing giving us some superb action. But Stephanie Hahn got the break, has used it to great advantage. See, Andre Kirsten there and Janiak side by side for 7th place, having got his first ever points. The younger German Kirsten wants some more of it. There he is in the 24. Same specification truck, more or less, as Norbert Kish. Maybe doesn't have quite all the latest tweaks. And the old bull bars are getting a bit of a pounding there. But Wojciech defending so well in the Czech truck racing team, MAN. 55-year-old Wojciech. Can he hang on? I really think that Kish is going to have a go at him in a minute. And Korba's still getting stuck in, and he hasn't given up either. He's going to get very close to Hahn as they go across the line. Hahn at 3:27, that is. Cheered on by the fans here at the Hungaroring. 5th round of the FIA European Truck Racing Championship. Has got Lady Racer well out in front now. All the time increasing her lead. It's now gone and widened to 8.7 seconds. She is away, but who will finish second? Wojciech, the old Lias driver, hanging on, doing all he can, using all his old tricks under pressure from the reigning and previous champion indeed, Norbert Kish from Hungary. With the Hungarian fans really expecting something. He looked out again then, but couldn't do it. Got to worry about the tyres a bit, keeping them in good condition for the last 2 or 3 laps. And truck 88 has got a penalty for the hitting that marker at turn 12. So that's Ryan Smith. So I don't think Ryan unlikely to be in the points, I think, in this race, the way it's going. That's disappointing for him after such a fantastic first race here. Sure, he'll regroup for tomorrow. A man from Mansfield in Nottingham, there he is in the 88 truck. There's the 86 in front of him, of Jerry Foreman. Not very much truck racing experience in the second of the Bagheeras. Of course, David Vasecki was the man who won a lot of races in Bagheera, has now moved into an engineering role with the team, and so very much involved in their Dakar exploits. And still, the Czech holds on in that pristine white truck, and still the 55 Adam Lachko is right there, wheel to wheel with the reigning champion. Lachko going into this meeting in the lead of the championship from Hahn by just 1 point. Had a lackluster first race. I think a few truck problems seem to be well sorted now. Here we are, the second big here. I've just heard a huge shout from the crowd as Norbert Kiss comes past again. Look, he's right, it's pushing along the Iveco, I think, of Korba. This could turn a bit desperate, I think, as they dive into this corner. And Kish in third place, but he wants that second to go with the second he had in the first race. We got 4 laps to go here. Warning flag for 24, warning flag for 55. 55 is Lachko. Tyres protesting as they dive down into the valley here at the fabulous Hungaroring, just 20 minutes drive from the wonderful city of Budapest. They won't be thinking about that at the moment. And certainly Wojciech, who came into this weekend lying 13th in the championship. This is his best drive for a long time, and doing an outstanding job there of keeping the reigning champion behind him. And this reverse grid certainly works for these truck races. Gives us a lot of added entertainment. Janiak still going well, down in 7th place in the yellow truck, and there's a little gap then to the rest of them. And still he's trying to nudge her away, trying to force Wojciech into a mistake. And remember what happened in the previous race. He nipped past Ryan Smith on the last lap. He had it all worked out. See a bit of bodywork missing from the 55. I'm not sure if that's from the previous campaign. So I think it had a bit of bodywork. Then obviously the cab over design, those mudguards tend to go flying. And now he tries around the outside, but it's a much further way round. Still, Kish with the fans behind him trying to get that second place. Well, I suspect that he might just try something on the very last lap. He's not going to show his hand to Wojciech quite yet. The gap has widened to 10.7 seconds. That's why you're not seeing Stephanie Hahn. And now I wonder if he can try around the outside. He gets alongside the Czech under braking, and the Bagheera's right with him as well. Hard on the brakes, water being sprayed onto them. We don't see any steam coming off them, but that's what's happening. And Wojciech hangs on. There's the gap to first place. And now maybe he's got an advantage, but the camera's foreshortening it. And just look at the number 1 truck, and the Bagheera's right there as well, with Lachko, Kish and Lachko chasing after third place. Hahn in 5th. Lachko take a few points off Hahn. Hahn having a very quiet race indeed in this reverse grid event. Having said that, he's right behind Lachko. And again, Kish trying to find a way through. And just inches behind. But he swaps sides again, see if he can do something around the outside. Really don't think that's going to work. Somebody else with a bit of a problem, with a lot of smoke coming out. Not sure if that's from the tyre. And still Frankie Wojciech hangs on. Stephanie Hahn, as I said, absolutely checked out, has been a winner already in truck racing, and great to have a woman right up there amongst the burly boys of these diesel dicing fraternity. And still that huge pack of trucks. And Wojciech really is holding him up, I think, but there's no way around him. Or is there? And look, they're just literally paint to paint. Fantastic. Oh, look at that, off it goes. Well, the Bagheera's off, but it was a mistake there by Kish. Kish made a mistake, and that's rare, and he dropped back. But maybe he just got a bit of a tap. Maybe we can see that again, a little luck. And so that's made it difficult for Kish. It's taking a bit of pressure off Wojciech. And there's the 88. He's been charging back up the field, Ryan Smith. Smith back in the hunt again. Well, after that drama early on, what a drive from Ryan Smith. So was so concentrated on that battle for second place, I missed the 88, passing 2 or 3 trucks as it went on its way back towards the top 5, and another excellent drive from Ryan Smith. But Frankie Wojciech hangs on, and after all that schmozzle, it's Janiak is 3rd, and Kiss is 4th, and Smith is 5th, and Hahn is 6th, and the big loser of that was Lachko's dropped to 7th. Let's have a look at it here. Well, all just so close, look, and a bit of nudging and rubbing going on. It's all part of truck racing. And definitely helped was Kish. And others had to take avoiding action. And then in all that, the 88 staked through. And disappointment there, the 27 of Gerd Kerber, having been right up there at the front, has stopped. I think that's a mechanical problem. So 2 laps to go. Stephanie Hahn now with a 15.7 second lead. Anybody's could be in second place, but Wojciech has hung on so well. There he is in the white Czech racing team truck. The Czech in the Czech racing team truck now under attack from Janiak. Well, that one incident moved over. Just as you see the flash of heat from the brakes of the yellow truck. And now Janiak fancies his chances of snatching second place. But meanwhile, Kish wants to get back onto the podium. The fans aren't going to like it if he isn't there. A bit of damage to the front, and he drives down the inside. He has usually got the measure of Janiak, and that's where I think he went off earlier. So Stephanie Hahn checked out, and there's the move from Kish, and Kish is going to make this stick. He dives down the inside and elbows Janiak, and Janiak doesn't want to give in. The crowd roar, but surely he's done it. He's on the right line, and he leans on him. But that's truck racing for you, not desperate. And meanwhile, Janiak still manages to power away. Just, I think, in that leaning session, I think Kish just lost a little bit of traction. I'm sure he got up to 3rd there, but Janiak, well, what a fight he is. But now Kish is down the inside here, and Kish moves back into 3rd place. Janiak relegated to 4th. Harms to the lead. Wojciech stays in 2nd place. Something goes flying, bit of bodywork, and that Bagheera certainly looks as if it's been in the wars, and it's still side by side, wheel nut to wheel nut. As they say in America, lug nut to lug nut. And meanwhile, Lachko still fancies his chances. Hahn dropped to 7th place, and quite a bit of smoke is that coming off a rubbing bumper from Wojciech. And while I wouldn't put it past Kish to sneak past Wojciech on the last lap, coming towards the flag. And Stephanie Hahn is going to take a famous victory. Here she is in the blue 44 machine of the Reinert team. Although the team leader is not here this weekend, hopefully he's watching it on television. And Ryan Smith dropped to 6th. Lachko's passed him, or Lachko, I should say. And this is still the battle for second place, and I think Wojciech's going to hang on in the number 12 machine. Great drive from Frankie, reliving the great days of the 90s, doing a fantastic job. Meanwhile, 15 seconds ahead, she can almost coast home now. Stephanie Hahn, former mini racer turned diesel dicer, doing a great job. And look at this, they're still side by side. And still Kish is trying to get it onto the podium, or get into second place now. And this will help his championship chances as well. He was lying in 4th place coming in this weekend. And here, the checkered flag will fall on another victory for Stephanie Harm. Excellent drive by her. Took her chances when they were available, and off she slotted right into a very handy lead indeed. But what about 2nd place? It's Wojciech who hangs on. He flicks. No, he hits the wall. He doesn't cross the line. What happened there? Unbelievable. The start and finish line is different to the start line. Is different to the finish line here. He crossed the start line, but not the finish line. Hard, you see him at the wheel there. Hard into that wall. Delighted to see it stood up well. So Janiak, it appears, who is 2nd. Kish is 3rd. Lacho is in 4th, and Ryan Smith in 5th. Goodness me, let's see this one. Yeah, he got tapped there without any question of doubt by Kish, and that put him into the wall. And I think Kish could be in trouble for that. And then they come to the line. Oh, what a finish! We knew this truck racing would give us some good action, but we didn't expect that. And there he is, out of the truck. Veteran Frankie Wojciech with the Czech beer sponsorship. He's obviously all right, but he went hard and hard into that wall. Here is our winner on a victory parade lap, Stephanie Harm. Reinhardt Racing from Germany. Missing her teammate this weekend, but there you are. Let's see this again. And just a lot of speed there with Kish. Did he hit him? Did he touch him? I'm not sure. Seeing it from that angle, he did. I get the feeling, just seeing it again, that Wojciech just lost it. Too much power on. And, well, there is Wojciech. See what he thinks. Frankie, no, I don't think he had help. Seeing it from that angle, I don't think he had help. I think he just gave it too much welly. Maybe it was... let's just try and analyse this again, look, from this angle. There's the white truck is Wojciech. There he is. No, look. Kish is nowhere near. Kish is still nowhere near. Kish is still... 2 or 3 feet. He's losing it there. He's losing it there, and I don't think there was a touch. I do not think there was a touch. I think he just lost the rear end, and then, well, it was just a passenger until it creamed into the wall. Bang! It hit there, in hard, and then rubbing along the wall not deformed at all. And then, as that happened, Janiak sneaked by to get 3rd place. 2nd place, I should say. Sneaked by to get 2nd place. So Kish was in 2nd place then. And maybe he was too busy looking at what's happening. We see it again. Wow, and that's got the crowds babbling, I can tell you. There, the rear end is starting to go there. What? From that angle, it looks like maybe there was a little love tap there from Kish. Need to speak to them to see. And then watch the yellow truck. Watch the yellow truck. Kish has come off the throttle here. Watch Janiak sneaking by, and there's the line, and takes it by a whisker. Wow, sensational finish. Well, I'm sort of a bit 50-50 on that, whether he got a tap from Kish or not, but we'll find out for tomorrow's broadcast for sure. But let's not have this phenomenal ending take anything away from this lady here, who drove superlatively. Stephanie Harm from Germany. Oh, don't get your door knocked off. Very nearly. And Janiak. So Germany and France and Hungary, the top 3. I wonder if that cameraman down there gets a chance. He might just go and have a look at the front of Kish's truck, see if we can see any mark. Well, she's celebrating with the Reinhardt team. Obviously got huge disappointment that their team leader wasn't racing this weekend. See, there is the Kish truck. I'm just trying to look at the front. Maybe we can get, there's Kish jumping down. And because the trouble is, there is obviously there is damage to the front. There's no question of doubt about that. But that's probably from earlier. He was charging through the field. Well, there's Janiak with a rather colourful crash helmet design. And team congratulating him on a very good second place. That will move him up the field. Jockey Hahn finished in 6th place. So he'll drop a few points to Latchko, but Hahn will still lead the championship. And they're still congratulating the Frenchman, the former Formula 3 racer. Very good drive indeed. And suddenly when Kish came off the throttle, maybe seeing what his rival was doing as he careered into the wall, and very cleverly, Janiak sneaked by. So now we can get down. I think Dakota's down there with our lady winner.
Stephanie, that was mega impressive. Some really good racing and another win for the girls.
Yeah, sure, it was perfect. Normally the plan was to overtake Frankie at the start, but the speed was so high that I kept just 69 km to don't get a penalty after. So he was in front, but I was really lucky that I was able to overtake him because I see all the other trucks were stacking behind him the whole race. So for me it was nearly like easy to win, but normally it's a little bit easier for me when I got some pressure, but it's perfect. I'm really happy.
Well, thank you very much. Good luck for tomorrow.
Thanks.
Yeah, good luck for tomorrow. And she rehydrates and is being shepherded towards the podium. So happy winner there. Thank you, Dakota, for that. So, well, two breathtaking races here today. Ryan Smith, very much one of the stars of the first one. Get some more decent points so here with a 5th. And just to go through, didn't give him much of a shout. We go through here. Stephanie Harm winning from Janiak by a big margin. Then Kish, Blacko, Ryan Smith forced his way up to 5th place. Then Jockey Hahn, Jerry Foreman, Andre Kumsen gets points again, and Shane Brennerton got a couple too. Ellen Law was in 11th place, Orsini 12th, and Wojciech didn't cross the line, so he finishes a lap behind. So he's going to be desperately disappointed with that. Let's have a look at the action again. And right at the beginning, Frankie Wojciech in a white truck in the lead. And there he is. And I think I called it wrong, actually, because I said that Kurba was flying, was actually in the lead, but it was definitely at the beginning. It was Frankie Wojciech and Stephanie Harm biding her time. Punctures with a problem again, and then lots of action after that, which is just normal in this sort of truck racing. And then the big boys trying to force their way through. There's a problem for Ryan Smith. He dropped back in a cloud of smoke. And there's Kurba, who was having a very good race indeed for an old bloke, and he hung on for a long time, did Kurba, until he finally retired from the race with a mechanical. And then this was some of the action near the end, with Stephanie Harm already checked out. Wojciech managed to keep the rest of them behind, and at this point Norbert Kish was really pushing hard for the local Hungarian fans and trying every way he could to get round, and that sort of really concertinaed everybody up. And they were in a big group here with Janiak there, and then going wide, and that little schmozzle there, and Kish lost out and got punted out sideways. And then there was some great last of the late braking going on. Meanwhile, in the lead in the blue Reinhardt truck, Stephanie Harm takes an outstanding victory. And then we had this, and suddenly, bang, into the barrier went Frankie Wojciech. Still not quite sure whether he did it all on his own or whether he was pushed. So there we are. They were watching the highlights, I think. And I wonder what Norbert Kish will make of all that. There he is. incident between 1 and 12. That's Wojciech, and Norby Kish is being investigated, and well, it's just, in fact, one of the officials having a word with him, and well, they've got to decide. There's there he is, Norby, and he looks a little concerned, doesn't he? I don't know. He'll know if he punted Wojciech. Just it was not completely clear from our pictures. And well, there you can see big damage, and doubt if Frankie will get to race tomorrow. It depends what's happened to the chassis, really. And, again, see that face. Norby gives us a smile. Very much the local hero. He's called out onto the podium for third place, which really should have been, in a way, second. And Janiak just sneaking past that final 10-metre sprint to the line. And Anthony Janiak then for the Lion Racing team. And there, great shot of their truck, complete with that Lion logo on the side, in second place. That's Stephanie Harm, the winner. And there she climbs on the top step of the podium. She's going to relish this victory for sure. And for the second time today, German national anthem rings out. So the former mini racer turned diesel dicer enjoys the moment as well she might. A victory here in the reverse grid race. Interesting to see what happens tomorrow, whether she can get some decent points on the board. Trophies are brought out. Kish receives his. If he did punt Wojciech off, that was possibly the case, maybe he'll be handing that trophy back. We'll find out, and we'll bring you a complete update tomorrow, when we'll bring you both the races again a little later in the afternoon. In fact, you should join us for the first one at 13:55 Central European time. The second race will be at 4:45. So Stephanie with her trophy from this action-packed Hungarian truck race, round 5 of the championship. Quite done all the points. Yeah, we'll bring you all those again tomorrow as well, but very good result there, and yet another MAN victory. And then now it's the hat trick, and Goodyear hats go on, as indeed Goodyear supply all the teams with the tyres. Although, as I mentioned before, they only get 2 sets per meeting. And now the bubbly. I got a sneaking suspicion they've already taken the corks off. Yes, they have. That's cheating. And so the bubbly is sprayed. And they'll then be off debrief with the teams. And then, well, Stephanie's really getting it, isn't she? So she's getting it. That race suit is going to smell absolutely horrible tomorrow. Hopefully she's got a fresh laundered one hung up in the truck. I suspect that a professional team that they are, they will have exactly that. So, just to remind you, we'll be back again tomorrow with the 3rd and 4th races of this 5th round of the European Truck Racing Championship. Stephanie Harm, the winner from Anthony Janiak, who sneaked through past Norbert Kiss in a controversial end to what was a very exciting race. But beautiful day here in Hungary. But from me, Andrew Marriott, and the rest of the team, it's goodbye until tomorrow. Thanks very much for watching.